I would like to call the meeting of the Zion Park District dated November 17th to order. Kay, please read the roll call.
Commissioner Pye?
Here.
Commissioner Brown?
Here.
Commissioner Madera? Commissioner Rivers? Here. President Hartman?
Here. Can I ask everybody to stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting for the meeting of October 20th, 2022.
And then
You gotta
the
do
regular
the,
meeting.
both of them, the personnel and sub-finance
The
committee and the regular
personnel-
meeting.
Oh, for the personnel, sub-finance, and the regular meeting.
All right, have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, please read the roll call.
You don't have to do it twice.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, you just did it.
You did a voice vote, or are you gonna do a roll call?
We'll do a roll call.
Because you said voice
Yeah, let's
vote.
go ahead and do the roll call.
So you can't do both.
Sorry about that.
Commissioner Pye?
Aye.
Commissioner Brown?
Aye.
Commissioner Rivers?
Aye.
President Hartman?
Aye. All right. We do have a guest.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you? Hi.
Good.
Oh, I thought he was a guest too. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Beverly Mull, and I just want to come and say thank you for partnering with me for Oktoberfest. Eric, thank you for sharing the table and chairs with us. It was very good. Christine was great. I read Salem and wrote Shiloh on the flyer, and Christine shared that with me to let me know that that was an error. Christine is the how, what, where, when lady. And so she made sure. So even as I was figuring it out, I was like, I don't know, but I'm gonna let you know. Because I was still figuring it out myself. But I just want to say thank you very much for partnering with me. And may I get on your calendar for next year? I want to do it again next year.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Go ahead.
no, thank you. Thank you for that. I think we're really lucky. We have an excellent park district. We have a second to none staff, so I mean, I echo everything you say and more because you know, I've worked with these folks for a long time, and they're second to none, and we
Yep.
appreciate you coming and putting that out. Thank
Oh,
you.
absolutely. They really helped me a lot. Yeah.
We do. We're glad you had a good event. I know
Yeah.
you and Christine worked really hard on it
We
over
did.
the months and months of planning,
We
and it
did.
turned out a really nice and successful.
Yeah,
So
it was. Yeah.
thank you for coming to follow up and
Yeah, you're
say
welcome,
that.
and thank you, Eric, because I think we met in July, and we talked about it, and then
yeah, at least.
throughout the month, it came together. But I just had to come and say thank you for. I live here, so the entities that partner with me when you're just planning and wanting to do something for our city, and it was about to promote a smart community, because when our community is smarter, we're stronger, and when we're stronger, we're better, and so it was all of us that made it happen in this city. So I just wanted to thank the Park District for sharing that space with me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right. I know that we have one addition, or actually, we're going to move number 9 around.
Yeah, we will need to be flexible with agenda item number 9 based on when
When he
our
shows up.
representative is able to actually come because he's coming from another park board meeting. So
All right, so I'll entertain a motion. We approve the agenda as stated.
So move.
Second.
All right. Kay, please read the roll call.
Commissioner Pye?
Aye.
Commissioner Brown?
Aye.
Commissioner Rivers?
Aye.
President Hartman?
Aye. Commissioners' comments. Anybody have any comments?
Well, I'm just gonna say I was very excited to attend the opening, the groundbreaking for another business in the community this month with our mayor and other community members and elected officials. That was really, really nice. And I was reading through here and I was seeing that Kay was having something to do with, let me find my notes here, with partnering with a cooking class for teens in the community. And I'm just really excited about that because it was one of the things that me and our only superintendent for our schools in Lake County, we were talking about the kids having something to do when they get out of school. And so it's just the dedication that I've seen Kate put into these programs and after-school programming and stuff like that, so the kids when they leave school, that we know that education continues, more than just at in the school and at home. That they have other things that they can do in the community, and Zion Park District has always been a resource they can rely on. So thank you so much for that.
Anybody else? Carrie, I'd like to thank your pool staff for another outstanding year. 0 incidents, which is, as far as I'm concerned, that's above and beyond. I mean, I'm a lifeguard myself, and it's a tribute to the staff over there, what those kids do, and I truly appreciate it. So, thanks, Kate. All right, anything from the attorneys?
Nope, nothing from the attorneys.
All right, I will entertain a motion that we approve the paid bills.
Oh, did you want to read? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I entertain a motion that we pay the bills, can I do those? For the paid bills were $136,146.36. The unpaid $345,365.69 for a grand total of $481,782.05. So I'm gonna repeat that, a grand total of $481,782.05.
Have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Kate, please read the roll call.
Commissioner Pye,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Rivers, sorry,
It's okay. Aye.
President Hart.
Aye. Okay, executive report.
Yep. So on Friday, I attended at Zion Township High School their Veterans Day celebration. It was really nice. It started off with a breakfast in the morning, followed by a presentation from some veterans, along with the superintendent from the high school and Joyce Mason. In attendance with me was our Herman Park director, David Osborne. David is a veteran of the Air Force. So it was really nice to see him get recognized along with the other veterans that were able to stand up and get recognized. So yeah, it was just a good time to meet members of the community, thank local veterans for their service, network with people from the high school. So that was a really nice event, well attended event at the high school. We also had a few weeks ago our Trail of Treats through Shiloh Park. It was a really, I would say, a large turnout, a big success. We had about over 200 cars. Probably if you're looking at 3 to 4 people a car, we had somewhere probably around 700 people, I would say, estimated came through Shiloh Park. We had a lot of nice feedback from it, both after the event and toward the end of the line as people were exiting. So it was a really, really good event. Christine, Kay, and I attended the legal seminar down in Schaumburg, was it? Let's see. Yeah, down near Schaumburg, but
It was
Oak Park.
Yeah.
Okay. And Oak Brook, that's right. It used to be the McDonald's headquarters, so we used to always refer to it as McDonald's headquarters, but it's not. So it's a really good day. I mean, it's a full day from 8 a.m. to about 3 p.m. and we get to hear different attorneys from different law firms talk on, topics that are applicable to the Park District and some of the situations that we face every day. So that was really time well spent. Also, in the email that included the board packet, if you noticed, there was the link to the winter spring activity guide. So that's something that Christine, Kay, all the rec staff work really hard on and really plan far in advance to put together programs that are coming up. So please take a look at that. I think it's a great resource. We do have our robot that was approved by the board last month, so that has been working in the facility, mopping and squeegeeing floors and vacuuming all the different floors, and staff have kind of taken to that well. We just started with it this week, so just excited to keep utilizing that. And then the last thing I wanted to mention was, again, the IAPD conference is coming up in Chicago in January. So if anyone wants us to help them get registered, we help Jesse get registered. We're more than happy to help everyone. It's January 26th through the 28th, and the early registration deadline ends on December 12th. So again, happy to help any commissioner that wants to attend the conference.
All right, anything else there?
That is it for my report.
All right, so we'll just skip number 9.
Yeah, we'll skip number 9.
And we'll go to
Aaron
number
is not
10.
here. Yeah. So number 10 is the approval of the bid for the short game area to be constructed at Shepherd's Crook. Our golf manager, Alan Parkus, is here to present that.
So as you know, in previous board meetings, we sent a request out to hire an architect to develop a short game practice area where the existing putting green is right now. That's always been one of the weaknesses in our amenities. It's always been pointed out by golfers is, boy, this place would be great if you had a practice area, if you had a driving range. And we knew that we couldn't do the driving range. We looked around, had an architect a year ago look at it and just, ballpark say it's going to be $2.5 million if you wanted to do this, even if you had the space. And we really didn't have the space. It would require nets and short flight golf balls in order to fit that amenity onto the property. So we addressed that issue with the simulators. We've got a full swing first and then a TrackMan. So people that, do find that amenity missing, we've at least got a spot where you can warm up that's better than just a practice net over in the grass. And that's been very successful. The next part was you don't have practice bunkers and the green is too small, and we see that with golf outings, and that's the problem pretty much at most golf courses that get built. When they start to cut costs, they just start to shrink everything. And you can see that big space that's over there where the putting green is, just south of the patio addition. And that's where we're proposing to put it at. We did receive the 2 bids. We had a bid opening a couple of weeks ago. But I just want to assure the board that this is a nice thing to have. In the last 6 years, we've really, and this board's approved, improvements to three rooftop units on top of the building, a new roof, new golf course maintenance equipment, the new patio, painting of the clubhouse, the Oak Savannah improvement, drainage in the 18th fairway. So we've done these things infrastructure-wise to try to take care of the property first before we jumped into improvements on this scale. But we know, and it's hard to say. I had a guy tell me once, I can't tell you what it's worth, but I can tell you it's worth something. It's hard to put a number on what a $360,000 improvement is. But, doing 30,000 rounds of golf a year at $2 a person, you're looking at a 5-year return on that investment. And this is not borrowed money. This is money that's generated out of the enterprise fund. And this board's been very good to us into how we're able to reinvest that into the property. And this is just kind of the cherry on top, if you will, but it's the thing that takes Shepherd's Crook to the next level.
Well, first of all, Alan, I want to thank you and your staff. Since the day I took over or was on the board, your staff has just been phenomenal. And for the record, the money that we're spending on these different upgrades are not coming out of taxpaying money. This is coming out of the generated money that the golf course is making. And Alan, that's accredited to you. And I hope that, and I'm sure that the board members will echo what I'm saying, is that we can't thank you enough for everything you've done over there. I mean, people travel from all over to golf on that course. I travel around the state to go to all the board meetings for the accreditation team. And I wear my shepherd's crook. And they're like, hey, I golfed there before. Hey, I golfed there. I like that course. I like that course. So my point is that this course is known throughout the state. And it's all you and your staff, Alan. I can't thank you enough. You've done it. So,
It's been a good partnership with the board, you know, being willing to invest, you know, in the opportunities that we've, you know, brought to you. Some have been really non-sexy infrastructure kind of rooftop units, but we tried to do those things first.
right, that helps. When you got a good group. Well, thanks again, Alan. Any other commissioners want to comment? Jess?
Not comment, I got a question. I like your idea, but you are done take the cop pass away.
No, we're just gonna
Extend it
reposition
out.
it.
Yeah,
He's gonna reroute it.
you're gonna reroute it over to the side.
Yeah, that don't mean take away a parking spot or
No.
no?
No,
Wow.
Yeah.
no, everything will be south of the parking lot.
All right.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything? Jess, you got any more? Anything else?
No.
Okay. All right. I will entertain a motion that we approve the bid for the short game area at Shepherd's Crook.
So moved.
Have a second?
You wanna say the dollar amount on it, just real quick?
gotta-
Yeah, you gotta,
From
you wanna
Midwest
say the
Golf.
dollar amount.
Yeah.
Midwest Golf
Bill
Development,
can't make the motion.
363.
He's asking for the motion, so you have to do it.
So you can make it. He's just entertaining it.
For the amount of, I'm sorry, how much was that, Eric?
363,650 from Midwest Golf Development.
Okay, and from a motion that we approve the amount of $363,650 from Midwest Construction,
Golf Development.
Golf Development,
Yep.
to improve the facility over there at Shepherd's Crook. Do I have a second?
Do I have a second?
Yep, mine's listed as a different company and a different dollar amount, so I don't know if my packet was different.
There's,
Okay, I see it. Never mind.
Okay.
Disregard.
All right, have a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Okay, please read the roll call.
Commissioner Pye,
I
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Rivers,
Aye.
President Hartman.
Aye. Again, Alan, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
okay.
All right, sir.
Take
Is that
off.
the gentleman?
Okay. All right, thanks for coming, thanks for being
Are you the gentleman from Spears, sir?
Yes, yes, so
Good
we'll
deal.
jump
Thanks,
back,
Alan.
Thanks, Al.
Thank you.
jump back to number 9 now.
Yes, sir. Step up in front.
Sounds good. My apologies for being late. I was down in Vernon Hills and there was
Don't worry.
quite a squall there for
Really?
a second. Yeah, just downpour of snow. So,
Well, we're glad you're here.
yeah, I'm glad I'm here too. Jesse, it's good to see you again.
can see
How
you.
you doing?
Good, how you?
I'm hanging in there.
How
hanging in
you
there.
feeling?
Oh, they're real good. They're real good.
Good.
Yeah, I'll tell them you said I.
Yeah.
I played hockey here when I was a kid. So this is I remember.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Aaron Gold, Municipal Advisor from Spear Financial, and I'm here to present the results of the pricing of the district's annual rollover bonds. We did specifically these are labeled as taxable, general obligation, limited tax park bonds, Series 2022. We priced this issue on Monday, and I priced it at a net interest cost of 4.82%. And what I did was, and we'll get into this as I go through the presentation, because the district is actually purchasing its own bonds, I took the average bid from 16 other bids that I received from competitively selling comparable taxable rollovers to arrive at the rate of 4.82%. But taking a step back, talking about what this debt obligation is, it's general obligation limited tax. So general obligation means you're levying a direct property tax levy to repay the principal and interest when due, but it's limited or constrained. And the first limit is how much of this type of debt you can have outstanding in total. And then the second limit is how much you can levy each year to repay the principal and interest when due. So when you issue these GO bonds as limited, the board has the authority to issue them without going to referendum. So what the district does is it uses this financing tool as the board's mechanism for generating capital for the district. And with talking with Eric, what we really try to do is just try to capture as much capital as possible because each year your levying capacity grows by a CPI adjustment. So what we're doing here is we're essentially filling your levying capacity. So the structure of this issue is we anticipate closing this issue in 2 weeks on December 1st, and it has a final maturity on December 15th of 2023. And with the final interest rate, I did resize this issue slightly to $632,040, and it will generate approximately $621,000 in new money to support the annual capital initiatives of the district. And now getting back into this concept of self-purchasing. So again, we're filling your levying capacity, and we want to do it. You have the option to sell these to a bank, but in order to access this levy line and to support your annual capital, you need to issue these bonds. So the one option is to sell them competitively to a bank, which we do in the past, and new this year is what we're calling a self-purchase. And really this is an accounting transaction. So what we're doing here is we're booking a liability, we're booking the debt, and then we're also booking an investment, and they offset each other. So the interest expense offsets the interest income, and all you're doing is you're capturing the property tax levy. So, make clear as mud?
Yeah.
But it's actually a very savvy play by Eric, and really what it does is it'll, through this accounting transaction, you're earning a rate of return on this investment of 4.82%, and it's offsetting the interest expense, which is high right now because interest rates are high. So it's a very savvy play to generate as much capital as possible and to essentially fill this levy bucket for the district to support your needs. Clear as mud. It is done on paper, but this is the only legal mechanism for filling this property tax levy to support the capital needs of the district. I therefore recommend that the district's taxable general obligation limited tax park bonds series 2022 be awarded to the district's corporate fund at a price of $632,040, being at a net interest cost of 4.82%. I much prefer playing hockey in here as opposed to talking about this stuff, but either way, if you have any questions at all, I'm more than happy to help.
Anybody have anything?
I do.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Why is this number different than this number?
So when I built the planning material, I used an estimated interest rate at the time, and since that interest rate changed based off of the comparables that I had to reduce the size of the issue to fit it within your levying capacity.
Okay.
So it's just based off of the actual interest rate that we received.
Okay, anybody else? All right, I will go ahead and entertain a motion that we approve the FY 23-24 tax levy.
No,
Is that the one we're doing?
No,
Oh,
the
I'm
bonds.
sorry.
number 9.
Number 9, I'm sorry, my fault. I'll entertain a motion that we approve ordinance 897. Sorry about that. I got hit in the head with a hockey puck.
Okay, would you like me to follow by entering a motion that we approve the ordinance number 897 for the issue of bonds for the amount of $632,307. I'm sorry, we got a different number, didn't we?
Yeah, 040.
$632,040.00. It's a limited perk bond series for 2022. Do I have a second on that? Oh, I'm sorry, it is for a rate of 4.82%.
All right.
Now do I have a second?
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Clear
All right,
as mud,
a
right?
second. Okay, please read the roll call.
Commissioner Pye,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Rivers,
Aye.
President Hartman.
Aye. Well, sir, I want to thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate your work involved with this. I'm sure this is not something you can do.
This is what happens when you hire a finance guy to be your executive director. You start getting
it
creative
does
with
help.
your financing.
I'm like, hang on, we
Wait,
got
what
an
if we
idea.
do this?
It does help. It does help.
And the whole point of the game is to just be as efficient as possible with this annual rollover process and to drive as much capital to the district as
And
possible.
it's changing every day. That's
Yeah.
the real part of it.
Yeah, the rates are crazy right now,
Yeah.
and so we feel like we did a good job.
Well,
with
again,
the
thank
district.
you, sir, for your time, and have a safe trip wherever
good.
you're going. And go ahead, Jess.
I got one. Do you think the interest would go down every time? Like a year, 2 years?
Oh, you're asking me to pull up my crystal ball? I don't like doing that. Every time I do that, I look silly, so, no, I think we're probably gonna see higher interest rates for a while. I think we did see some pretty encouraging news this past month, but that's all it is it's news, it's not trend. So what you'll see is a ton of volatility in the markets right now, and I just encourage people to take it as, it's all just news. Real inflation is still very high. Rates are gonna be very high for a period of time until they're back under control. So yeah, don't get caught up in the hype, one way or the other.
I feel optimistic that things will turn around.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen, obviously, positive signs. It's just a matter of
When?
inflation it's a lagging indicator, and it's going to take a while to correct course.
Right.
So,
Well, that's why they pay big bucks to guys like you to figure this out. I'll tell you, it's a nightmare sometimes. It really is.
I think it's going to come down to higher interest rates for a while.
Yeah, I think so. Well, again,
All right.
thank you.
Thanks, sir. Good to see you.
Good seeing everyone.
Take care, be
Thank
safe. All right, sorry about that, Erica.
No, that's all right. We
But,
just mixed up
sit
the order.
around here.
So
All right. Now,
we're on 11.
11.
Okay, so 11 is our preliminary tax levy estimate, right? So this is the time of year when we do the estimate at this meeting, and then at the next meeting, we'll bring back the final levy and levy ordinance. I always remembered, from a seminar I went to that, the deadline for the levy is always like the same deadline as Santa Claus's, right? So it's always, we have to have, that's how I know to not miss it. We always have to have our levy filed before Christmas or by Christmas. So again, we do the levy estimate now, and then we come back and we do the final. So getting into some of the details on the tax levy estimate, again, we start this process with an estimated EAV that's provided to us from the county. What's really challenging is all of this is prepared based on estimates, and I don't want to say best guesses because the numbers are very close. But our 2022 estimated EAV for Zion is about $397,566, and again, we get that number from the county assessor. That number has increased from last year by about 11.2%. So that's really positive, right? That the property values within Zion are increasing, and some new business. As Carolyn mentioned, she attended, right, like a groundbreaking ceremony for, I think that was probably Popeyes, right, Carolyn? Right. So once we're able to bring in businesses like Popeyes, they're bringing Real Wheels into that building across from Walmart, and so those are the kind of things that also help with Zion's EAV.
What is that?
Real Wheels. Real Wheels is a business out of Gurnee. I think they've got about 40 or 50 employees, and they do like truck parts.
They taking over the old heat transfer place?
Yeah,
Or
is that just south of Walmart,
Yeah.
across 173 on the triangle?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're. I think they've already moved in there. Actually, if you see a lot of activity there with cars and stuff. Yeah. So
That's by
that.
Rogers?
No. Do you know where the pool place is on the south side?
Yeah.
Just
Kiefer.
east of there.
Yeah.
Okay, Kiefer's?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
The big industrial building right there.
gotcha.
Yeah, so that's that. Those are a couple positive things right there. Those two businesses. Plus, if you remember when we had our special meeting to approve that $25 million valuation for the Constellation Energy spent, so that also goes into our EAV. right? And so that also was beneficial for helping the city's EAV increase.
Starbucks is moving in on.
Yeah,
right
you got
next to-
you got Starbucks
by
coming.
CVS,
Yeah,
Yeah.
or Walgreens.
yeah. Did you know that, Carolyn? That's a
CVS,
Starbucks on 173 by CVS by the ball field.
by the ball field.
Mhm.
Is that what that is?
That's
MIA.
the old Fielders Field. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure how are they building that land?
I don't know whose
That's a separate out piece.
property it is. Yeah.
That part of the lot the city owned and they sold it off.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's all positive for the change in the EAV. Once we get that number, we start looking at another component in this is like the change in CPI, right? Which, but it's capped at 5%, which make things a little bit difficult. So the consumer price index, right, the CPI is the measure of inflation, which is currently right around 8%-ish or whatever. But the cap that we can use for this calculation is 5%. So it's CPI or 5%, right, whichever is lower. So that limits us a little bit in our ability to levy. So then once we get through, that CPI limiting rate, which you can see if you're looking, if you're looking there, you can see that our total of capped funds is $3,011,960. In the capped, there's a PETA limit number.
In green.
A light green color. Right there.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So in Lake County, we're in a tax capped county, so we can't levy any more than that dark green number, the $3,012,000, right? So this proposed levy estimate that we're looking at here brings these various dollar amounts, levies these various dollar amounts into our various funds that we talk about in the treasurer's report, right? The general fund, the rec fund, audit, and all of those. And then you can see, based on the amount that we are proposing to levy, so for example, in general, it's $1,310,000. If that EAV estimated number is accurate or correct, that would bring a proposed property tax extension amount of $1,277,777 in that fund. Okay, so once you get through all of those numbers and go down and calculate the total rate, so the total tax rate proposed here is 0.9361. If you see that at the bottom, which is actually almost a 6% decrease in our tax rate. So that's great news because right now we're currently at the lowest, where our rate is the lowest it's been for the Park District in 10 years. So as these property taxes, as values continue to rise, and we levy less than the amount that they're rising, that's bringing the tax rate down. So it's really good to see the rate below, 1.0. The bond number that you see here, in the tax levy, the $641,843. That's exactly what Aaron was just speaking to, where he prices the bonds and figures the interest rate. So the payment of the principal plus the interest is the $641,843 essentially, right? There's some differences, but that's how he prices them to fill up this levy, and it all kind of works together. Now I will say that this estimate, as we have it here, will require what's called as a truth in taxation. We've only done that one other time in 2017. We did a truth in taxation, and a truth in taxation is put into effect when your next year's levy amount is greater than 5% of your current year's property tax extension. So if we are going to levy next year 5% more than we're receiving this year, then it requires this truth in taxation hearing, which requires like a disclosure in the newspaper and everything like that. Now, so the change in those two numbers is like 7.4%. And I just think, we're operating as efficiently as we can, right? We're trying to be very responsible fiscally to the public, and we're certainly aware of the tax rate in Zion. But this is just, one of those situations where, again, with inflation running at 8.5%, is why we're requesting this levy amount, you know, at that 7.4. The positive thing is, it does bring down still the tax rate by almost 6%. So, yeah, so that's what I've kind of gone through to prepare our levy estimate. That will bring us a change in extension dollars, right? So a change in property tax dollars of about 140,000, 139,000 would be like the addition to our budget for next year, right? Now, that extension, right, has to cover inflation and everything else, right? So when you're talking, in my mind, about, 3.7 million, 140,000 is not a significant amount, but again, I'm not going to say it's an insignificant amount because it's people's property tax, and we respect that. So
what are we voting on tonight as far as?
So yeah, we're just voting on
Just an FYI?
on
or
the preliminary estimate.
Okay.
You know, accepting the preliminary estimate, bringing it back possibly next month with no change, right?
All right, so we're just doing preliminary.
Preliminary
Okay.
estimate, yeah. So do you have a question, Jess?
I thought we don't feel on this.
Um,
We did it last year.
Huh?
I don't think it hurts to vote on it. I mean, anytime that, we have the numbers, I don't.
But is this gonna be correct though, from when we do the final approval?
Yeah, this would not change because we
Okay.
won't get any more information from now until December
So we
15th.
can actually ultimately reapprove this, period.
Yeah, I mean, you can approve it, but then I have to bring back the whole levy ordinance
Yeah.
So
and
do
it's
the
multiple
preliminary.
pages. So
Okay.
you can approve the preliminary
Okay.
levy as shown here. The
All
estimate
right.
levy. Does anyone have any questions or concerns about it?
All right, any questions? Anybody have anything? All right, so I will entertain a motion that we approve the preliminary tax levy for 2023 and 2024 for the tax year of 2022.
So moved.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
Have a second. Kay, please read the roll call.
Commissioner Pye,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Rivers, President Hartman.
Aye. Okay. Next.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda, number 12, is the approval of the schedule for the budget review sessions for next fiscal year. We just have the one-page schedule in there, which is very similar to our schedule that we've kind of always operated off of. It's really only off like a day, right? This is when we bring preliminary budgets to the board. Many staff members have already started their budget, and it's just a long process.
Very.
So, yeah, this is the schedule too for the budget review sessions.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and entertain a motion that we approve the schedule for the 2023-2024 budget review sessions.
Second.
I'd be so moved.
So
Have a
someone has to
second?
make the
We're gonna
first.
do something.
First.
So moved.
I'll second.
All right. Kay, please read the roll call.
Commissioner Pye,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Rivers, President Hartman.
Aye. Okay,
Okay.
number 13.
Yep, the 13. The next one is WEX fleet fuel cards. Rick is probably familiar with this.
Used them for 20 years.
Right. And so we brought this solution to the board because obviously leaving the Hebron maintenance facility is where our fuel tank is, and we're, going to abandon that fuel tank. We're going to decommission it, not fill it up anymore, and really not have people in and out of Hebron, for the long term. So this is the solution for our vehicles to be able to fill up vehicles and equipment. Though, like Rick said, Rick is familiar with it. Rich Churcharillo is familiar with it because he worked at the city. Our new accounting manager, Esme, is familiar with it because she kind of administered the program when she worked at the city. So we think it's a really good option for vehicles and equipment to fill up.
And this is what the city uses?
Yeah, it's what the city currently uses. I've seen the reporting on it.
A short rundown, each driver has their own number,
Yeah.
has their own
card, and or if they have it for the vehicle, you can set it up to where each driver has their own number to put in. But you put in the vehicle, you put in the mileage, and it automatically generates it for the, and it's, since we're a different tax situation than the public, it gets the fuel at a reduced rate.
Right, exactly.
At the
Yep.
cost instead of the tax rate.
Yep.
All right.
Automatically generated and the reports come.
Yeah, the reports are nice detailed reports that shows who used which card for how much, on which day, where, so.
The reason most places go to something like this is, hey, this card is using, an extra 100 gallons a month. And then they can, go to that station and they can review the video and say, hey, that driver is pocketing that money.
Mm-hmm.
And then they, it's an accountability situation. So
Yeah.
they can take care of it real quick.
Yeah, and we do have too, like a use policy on the card that everyone's gonna have to sign and acknowledge that says it's not for personal
They're
use,
responsible.
and so it's just another procedure and control for each person that's issued a card has to sign it, so.
All right. Any other questions?
Super
Anybody
straightforward.
comments?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will go ahead and entertain a motion that we approve the WEX fleet fuel cards. Is that WEX or Weeks?
WEX.
WEX fuel cards.
I make a motion that we approve the WEX fleet fuel cards for use for the Zion Park District.
Second.
I have a second. Kay, please read the roll call.
Commissioner Pye,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Rivers,
Aye.
President Hartman.
Aye. All right, number 14, Eric.
Yep, number 14, you should all have this in front of you. It wasn't done last week when I sent out the packet. It's that green one right there, Carol. That's right there in your right hand. Yep. Yep. So this is an agreement from Hitchcock Design Group, a design services agreement to assist us with the Shiloh Park OSLAD grant. As you know, Hitchcock has been a very good partner to us in the grant process, writing these grants, doing a lot of the due diligence to help us obtain these grants. So it really only makes sense to kind of continue that partnership with them as we get into the design and construction phase. So this is again, a professional services agreement where they're going to help with things such as, permitting, bidding, the construction administration, design and development, all of those things. So the total for this services agreement for the Shiloh Park OSLAD is $89,400 in this agreement here. The amount allocated in the grant for these services that we were allowed to spend is $114,600. So this is all, can be covered with grant dollars. We did run the agreement by our attorney at Ansel Glink, Jim Rock. It does not need to be competitively bid because, the services that they're providing here require a high degree of knowledge, and we already have an existing relationship with them for services. So because of that, we don't have to take this out to public bid, even though the amount's over $30,000.
Okay.
So my recommendation would be that we accept this agreement from Hitchcock Design Group, pending our attorney's final amendments to the terms and conditions, because the attorneys are still going back and forth.
Okay.
89,400.
Yep.
Any questions? All right, I'll entertain a motion that we approve the design services agreement with Hitchcock.
I make a motion that we approve the design services agreement with Hitchcock for the Shiloh OSLAD grant, pending the attorney approval for $89,400.
Second.
I have a second. Kay, please read the roll call.
Commissioner Pye,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Rivers,
Aye.
President Hartman.
Aye. All right, number 15.
So 15 is, we do this annually each year. This is the IAPD credentials certificate. So each year our district authorizes delegates and an alternate to represent our park district at the IAPD, all association annual business meeting that takes place at the IAPD conference in Chicago. So this year's meeting will be held on January the 28th. After pretty much the conference concludes, the meeting will be at 3:30. So we need to select a delegate, first alternate, second alternate, third alternate. Unfortunately, I will not still be at the conference at this time because I have a taxing body leaders group meeting at the high school. So we're going to have an event at the high school on that day. I'll be representing the Park District there.
Okay. We have a delegate.
So will anyone be down in Chicago and available at 3:30 on Saturday?
3:30 on a Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I guess I could go to the kitchen and cocktails when I'm done.
All right. I'll be the first alternate.
Okay, so Carolyn will be the delegate?
Yeah.
It's just a meeting where you raise your hand or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's-
Okay. So Carolyn,
And I'll be the first alternate.
she's the delegate. Bill will be the first alternate.
I would be the second.
Okay.
All right.
The first alternate.
And then you could be the third, Eric.
Yeah, I can be the third alternate. No, honestly, and
Nobody's
if
gonna be-
for some reason that everyone else above me can't make the meeting, then I'll just have to miss the event at the high school and
Yeah,
go
I
down there
think
for it.
we'll
So
have to cover it. All right.
he's the Bill's the. So do you want to make a motion to approve that?
Yeah.
Because we actually do have this here.
All right. Any questions? Anybody have anything? All right, I'll entertain a motion that we approve the names for the Illinois Association of Park District Credential
Certification.
Certification. Can't even talk tonight.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Have a second. Kate, please read the roll call.
Commissioner Pye,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Rivers,
Aye.
President Hartman.
Aye. All right, and then we're gonna go into executive session.
Yeah, we will do an executive session, real brief. So
Okay. All right, I'll entertain a motion that we go into an executive session.
So,
Very good.
well, do I? I make a motion that we go into the Design Park District Board of Commissioners go into executive session for the purpose of the board discussing employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of employees pursuant to Section 2C1 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act.
Have a second?
Second.
All right. Kate, please read the roll call.
Commissioner Pye,
Aye.
Commissioner Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Rivers,
Aye.
President Hartman.
Aye. All right,
You do that.
we off the